Distinguished guests and colleagues, today is Wednesday, May 31st, 2023, and I have the distinct honor of welcoming everyone to the retirement celebration for Chief of Police Robert J. Contee III. The 31st Chief in the history of Metropolitan Police Department. Today is an opportunity to celebrate a son of the city who has served the residents and visitors of Washington, D.C. for over 33 years. And will certainly leave a legacy of excellence that will ring loudly for future generations. He has invited each of you here today to celebrate the beginning of a new journey. And while retirement can bring a range of emotions, he appreciates your support, your partnerships, patience, and relentless dedication to delivering first-class public safety services. You have impacted him throughout his career and, more importantly, his life. So it is only fitting that we come together to close out his final chapter as a member and our chief of the Metropolitan Police Department. So thank you, and please join me in welcoming our Master of Ceremony, Reverend Dr. Timothy West.
Wow. Good afternoon, everyone. I received a message, but I didn't get this part of the message. I'm your MC? Oh, you are in trouble now. And it just so happened, you know, the Lord is just good. I brought my glasses. I don't usually bring my glasses. And so let me see if I can do it this way. To all of the officers, friends, honorees, dignitaries that are present and that will be joining us, I want to say greetings to you, and certainly want to congratulate my good friend Robert and his wife Azure. Did I say it right? That's been a battle since they've been married. Tyler and Dylan and the rest of the Contee family and friends who are here on this wonderful, wonderful afternoon. And I really wasn't joking. I don't have an order. I don't have a program in front of me, so I'm praying to God that this is right. This is what I'm supposed to be reading, and I'm also supposed to. I was supposed to say 2 or 3 words, and I'm trying to see, is this where I'm supposed to do it? Sure. Okay. Yes, here it is. So let me tell you how Rob and I became friends. It should be obvious we met in church. And the way we became friends was a miracle within itself, because I never thought I would be Robert's pastor or his friend at any point in time in life. When Robert came to the church, Robert looked like he only had one gear. It was always serious, you know, back straight, clothes in place. And I have 2 gears. I'm extremely serious or silly. I don't have no in between. So I'm thinking, Rob ain't got but one gear. We're not going to get along. And come to find out later on, Rob is a comedian. I have laughed so hard that I had to get up from the table and walk away. And so we're real good friends, but we're different. He's city-fied, I'm countryside. And it showed up in every element of our lifestyle. I'll give you a case in point how the friendship began to evolve. I needed to come into the city, and I would call Rob. And I'd say, Rob, I'm going to George Washington. He said, well, where you coming from, big guy? And I would do this over and over again until finally Rob said, hey, Red, have you ever heard of Waze? And I said, no. He said, well, you need to get the app, because you can't keep calling me every time you need to get in the city. Well, Rob, I got Waze. I can't stand it. I use Google Maps, so you can have Waze. But I wasn't offended. He was trying to upgrade the country boy. And he would take me, I'd come downtown, we'd go to lunch. And Rob, when he goes to lunch, it was always cushions in the seat and tablecloths. Well, I decided I'm gonna flip the script, and I'm going to take Rob out. He and his wife, we're going to double date. So I said, now, Rob, it's a hole in the wall. He said, oh, big guy, don't worry about it. We got it. So we walk in, and Rob sees the avians. It's hardwood chairs. It's construction paper is the table covering. And so he walks in, and he quietly looks back. He said, where did you find this hole in the wall? Translation, I knew it was a hole, but I didn't know it was going to be this deep. I'm thinking, we friends, so that didn't bother me. So he gonna up the ante, so he's gonna take me to lunch again. I'm in the patrol car. So I told you I'm silly, right? So he takes me in the patrol car, and I get an inside joke. I say to myself, man, I'm in the patrol car and I'm not going to jail. This is really good. And so he double parks. And I said, Rob, you gonna park? Man, don't worry about it. Come on. So we eat. I'm thinking he got perks. God calls. I got to go to the Verizon Center. I'm talking to my friend. I don't want to go because I don't like parking. So I'm talking to Rob. I don't want to go to the city, man. I got to park. You know, the parking garage is da-da-da-da-da-da. And so I'm looking for him to say, don't worry about it. He started to give me some directions. And so I'm thinking he's going to say to me, and when you get to the corner, just drop my name. They'll take care of you. He said, now when you turn right, you're going to see a big P. That's a good place to park. I'm thinking, but Rob, we friends. So I finally, and let me tell you something, Metropolitan Police Department, y'all got speed traps. My last little story, and I'm done. Y'all have a place where it's paved, but it feels like a dirt road. And then the dirt road becomes a smooth road. Well, on the dirt, when it feels like gravel, you take your time. When it's smooth out, you take off. Well, I got caught in y'all trap. Got my picture. I call him. I'm complaining. It's a setup. I'm thinking I heard police officers could fix tickets. So Rob, my friend, Rob gonna fix it. So this is what he says. Big guy, don't worry about it. Don't even go down there. You just pay the ticket because you ain't gonna win. It's a true story. And so you said, well, what does this have to do with this whole program? I could have told you how Rob gave me the key to his place when I went on vacation, so my family and I had a place to stay. I could have shared with you in this opening moment how Rob supports every celebration that we have in our home. I could also tell you how he gives and contributes to the needs that I address to him, but that probably would have bored you. I wanted you to know the integrity and the character and the honesty in which he presents himself. And so it is my honor to congratulate my friend, his family, on the chapter closing and the new one opening. And you know the call, Love You to Life. At this time, I'd like to, if I'm reading right, I'd like to welcome Mayor Bowser. Is she here? Yeah, I see the seat. Oh, there she is. Hi, Mayor. How are you? God bless you. So good to see you.
Well, hello, MPD. Hello, Chief Contee and the Contee family. I am delighted to be here to represent the 700,000 people of Washington, D.C., the men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department, and all of those who love Chief Contee. And that's a lot of people, Chief. I have had the privilege of being mayor of my hometown, so I know that's the best mayor job anywhere in the world. And I think Chief Contee would agree that being the police chief of your hometown is the best policing job that a person can have. Most of us weren't blessed with the knowledge of knowing what we wanted to do with our lives at the age of 17. But Chief Contee was. Most of us didn't get to, grow in the ranks of a job. Many of you in the police department have, but Chief Contee did. I was just looking at the list. Cadet, November 1989. Officer, 1992. Sergeant, 1997. Lieutenant, 2001. Captain, 2004. Commander, 2004. recruiter from the captain. Oh, a lot of commander jobs. Assistant Chief of Police, summer 2016, in the Investigative Bureau, and the Patrol Chief, March 2018, and ISB Assistant Chief 2018. And I named him Chief on January 2nd, 2021. One of the best things that I get to do as mayor is award talent and hard work with the top job. I've had that opportunity many times, and I was never so proud to make Chief Contee and name him the Chief of Police on January 2nd, 2021. You notice the date, January 2nd, 4 days later, Chief Contee called me and said, Mayor, they broke the line. I was in this building, he was over at the Capitol. And I got to witness firsthand what it means when you're called to protect your nation, and to do what the chief has to do frequently, and that's to put men and women in harm's way, but to make sure that we did our duty and that we can tell the world what we did that day. I've also had the occasion to hear Chief Contee's jokes in a weekly meeting every day for the last 2 years. It usually starts off like this. This is chapter 1, Mayor. This is chapter 3, Mayor. You're not going to believe this one. This one's going to be in the book too, Mayor. And I said, I know. And then I would call him a few times and say, what is this, chapter 17? And so we would work together on the big issues. And then we have a joke in the Wilson building, whether it was Chief Contee showing up or Reverend Contee showing up. And I got to tell you, we always enjoyed when Reverend Contee showed up. But I know who didn't enjoy it. Some people that need to make the laws right for our police department. So, Chief, I wanted to be here on behalf of our administration, Kevin Donahue, who was the former Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Justice, and Lindsay Appiah, who is the Deputy Mayor for Public Safety and Justice, and our entire cabinet. All of our agency directors have a responsibility for their agency, but they also have a great responsibility to be representatives of my team and the entire cabinet. And the Chief of Police plays an outsized role on the cabinet in leadership, but also in mentoring other cabinet members so they too can be outstanding leaders for DC residents. And the Chief, that you're leaving a big hole at MPD, but you're also leaving a big hole in that role. But I know you're going to be, I know where you live, and I know you're going to feel it. So let me just say this. A longtime criminal justice and public safety professional, you began your 33-plus career as a cadet. Your first assignment was in administrative services. Next, you became a recruit officer, followed by the Patrol Operations Bureau in the 3rd District. The trajectory of your career continued upon your promotion in 1997 as a sergeant, then lieutenant, followed by commander of Rock North in the 2nd District. As commander, you served in many capacities until your promotion in 2006 to assistant chief. Chief Contee, take this moment to remember all that you have poured into your time at the police department. For more than 3 decades, you have a constant and reliable resource and guide to all on the force and all of us. Your expertise and persistence have benefited our city in more ways than one, and for that, I am personally thankful. No doubt in your new role at the Federal Bureau of Investigation, you will continue to serve with pride and valor, and while keeping your beloved hometown top of mind. I am DC proud to join the 700,000 residents of Washington, D.C. in congratulating you on an outstanding career. unanimously. Kevin and Lindsay, if you would join me. All outgoing administration officials received this, and it says, Robert Contee, thank you for your dedication, leadership, and service to the residents of the District of Columbia in providing excellence that is transferable. To the Chief of Police, January 2021 to 2023, from Mayor Muriel Bowser.
We touched on this, but the chief's story began in the Carver Terrace community and is about a determined boy persevering despite the traumas and challenges stacked against him. He had an unwavering desire to give back to his hometown through public service, and though he never imagined he would rise to the rank of chief of police, his path through MPD is best told by those that occupy the places and the spaces as he once did.
In 1989, at the age of 17, Robert J. Contee III joined the Metropolitan Police Department as a police cadet. This decision was the first step on a path to a long and impactful career.
After several years successfully as a police cadet, my brother, Robert J. Contee III, became a full-time sworn member of MPD in 1992. Following his graduation from the police academy, Officer Contee, my brother, began his first patrol assignment in the 3rd District.
Robert J. Contee III was promoted to the rank of sergeant in 1997 and was transferred to the 2nd District before returning to the police academy. Sergeant Contee led training at MPD's residential facility to positively influence the next generation of police officers.
In 2001, Robert J. Contee III was promoted to the rank of lieutenant and assigned to the 2nd District as a patrol service area leader. Lieutenant Contee will be transferred to a leadership role at MPD's intelligence branch to ensure the district was well protected and the Metropolitan Police Department was prepared to respond to threats and critical incidents.
In 2004, Robert J. Contee III was promoted to the rank of captain and was responsible for leading the violent crimes branch, including MPD's homicide branch and sexual assault unit.
Later, in 2004, Robert J. Contee III was promoted to commander and returned to the 2nd District to oversee patrol operations. In April of 2006, Commander Contee was transferred to the Special Operations Division, where he oversaw First Amendment demonstrations, special events, dignitary escorts, and all tactical patrol operations. In 2007, Commander Contee returned to patrol as the 6th District Commander. After a very, very short 7 years, Commander Contee took helm of the recruiting division in October of 2014. For the next 14 months, he would oversee hiring of every employee of the Metropolitan Police Department. And then as his last role as a commander on the Metropolitan Police Department, in January 2016, he returned to patrol once again to lead the 1st District.
In the summer of 2016, Robert J. Contee III was appointed Assistant Chief of Police of MPD's Professional Development Bureau to oversee the Human Resources Management Division, Disciplinary Review Division, the Metropolitan Police Academy, and recruiting. In April 2017, Assistant Chief Contee was named Patrol Chief of Patrol Services South and was responsible for oversight of our 1st, 6th, and 7th police districts before being named Assistant Chief of MPD's Investigative Services Bureau, in March of 2018.
Following the retirement of Chief Peter Newsham, DC's own Robert J. Contee III was sworn in as Acting Chief of the Metropolitan Police Department on January 2nd, 2021, before his unanimous confirmation by DC Council as the 31st permanent Chief of the Department on May 4th, 2021.
In whatever capacity you serve, we all have a reason, a why that brings us back day in and day out. It is a driving force that guides us through an incredible mission to protect and serve. Don't lose sight of that why.
I want to ask you this question. What is your why? Because I promise you that you will have to reflect upon it often as you go through your journey in the Metropolitan Police Department. I can assure you that you will find that the reason, the why you are here will vary. Some people are here because they watch Cops and they say, man, that would be a cool thing to do. But some people are here because this is everything to them. Some people are here because they have family depending on them, and that's their why. Let me tell you a little bit about my why now and then. Growing up in this city, I started out as a police cadet at the age of 17 in high school. I've been wearing this uniform for 33 years. The why for me then was simply an avenue of escape from the poverty of community where I grew up, an opportunity, a chance for me to make my way to the middle class. Despite the fact that I was born to young parents, my father was 17. So my why to be here, to wear this uniform, it was important to me to change the trajectory of my life. So the why for me is deep. It's the thing that gets me up in the morning. It's the thing that I think about before I go to bed at night. The why is so important to me. Every now and again, I have to be reminded of that why. And I'm reminded of that why for many different reasons. That why is the thing that will make you stand out in the cold for hours on end sometime to protect communities. That why is the thing that will make you get up and get out even though that sergeant has plucked your last nerve. That why is the thing that no matter what, even when you feel like you're hurt, it will cause you to recycle your pain and use your pain now as power to do the things that you need to do. Your why is important. When you have that why and you think about that why gives you a different kind of confidence about yourself. It makes you go out and do things that ordinary people can't do because your why is what's driving you. So I'm going to encourage you at some point to make sure that you jot down your why. And when you start to experience the adversities that come with life, the challenges that comes with assignment, the things that happen just being a police officer in this day and age. Look back at that why and remember why you are here.
One of Chief Contee's whys came from an inspirational figure, an elementary school teacher at Charles Young Elementary School. Here today is that influential teacher. Please welcome Mr. Robert Burrell.
Good afternoon. Sound like church. To say I'm honored to be here to honor a gentleman I've known for what seems like forever is an understatement. An excellent student in my 6th grade class at Charles Young Elementary School, Robert Contee knew even then to do anything other than your best was not an option. His dedicated mother, never missing a PTA meeting, encouraged her son and her other 2 children to realize that a mind was a terrible thing to waste. And Robert Contee wasted not. Even in coaching him at a very young age in sports at Charles Young, I could see that desire, that fight, that grit. However, his athletic skills were not that great. But that didn't stop him from trying. It was just another endeavor in which failure was not an option. My 6th graders were often asked the question posed to many of our young people today: what do you want to be when you grow up? Hands flew all over the room. Answers came from everywhere: doctor, lawyer, teacher, professional football player, professional basketball player, baseball player, was shouted. But in the corner of the room, Robert Contee stood up and with all the confidence and assurance that a 6th grader could muster, and shouted out loud and clear, "I'm going to be the mayor of Washington, D.C." That's a true story. That's what he said to me many years ago. Well, Brother Contee, mayor, no. At least not yet. That was not your calling. You were placed exactly where you were supposed to be. I would like for those teachers from Charles Young Elementary School who played a role in Robert's early development and later success to please stand up. I would ask you to remain standing, but I know you're tired. But I want you to know, and I want everybody in this room who's under the influence or can hear me under this voice, remember one thing. If you can't remember one thing, remember this. Over 2,000 years ago, a question was asked. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Well, I stand before you today and I ask the same question. Can anything good come out of Washington, D.C.? And the answer is a resounding yes. Our student, my friend, and your chief of police of Washington, D.C., Robert J. Contee III. Congratulations, young fellow, on your successful journey. We can't wait to see what the future steps you take will lead. On behalf of Charles Young and Washington, D.C. in general, congratulations and thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Ben Heyman, and I serve as Chief of Staff here of the Metropolitan Police Department. It's my pleasure and distinct honor to introduce retired Sergeant Buster Flannery. For those of you who do not know Sergeant Flannery, prior to his retirement, he was a member of our outreach team, working with schools and young people all across the district. He inspired so many young people from across the city with his comedy, ability to relate, and of course, his music. Chief Contee, as the commander of the Special Operations Division and also the 6th District, put Sergeant Flannery into action to engage our community, to share tips, and often in a comedic and relatable manner. We were able to find him in retirement and brought him back in town right from the beach to offer his own chief 10 tips into his retirement. Please give a warm welcome to Sergeant Flannery.
It's a pleasure to be here, and excuse me one second. I'd just like to say, where's the chief at anyway? Okay, chief. All right. So as I was going to go and say a few tips, and before I get started, just basically, I know it's a little hot in here. I think the chicken was a little spicy, but anyway, that always get me a little hot. But anyway, well, compliments to the chef and whatnot. There's a lot of chief assistants in here, but I got to make sure I be on my best presentation. All right, okay, first of all, congratulations, Chief Contee. We got the slides up. You can follow me along. And slide keeper, when I go like this, give me the next slide, okay? All right. Okay, first of all, I just want to say a few things. Me and Chief Contee go way back. Am I right, Chief? His days at the academy, and I was there at the academy too. And I always admired the man. He always wears uniform, nice and neat, but I could never really keep up what he does. But he would always give me tips like, hey, you need to fix your collar, you need to fix your shoes on the wrong feet and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, I got through it, and and so today, I got him all right, Chief. Okay. But anyway, I was able to come here and give a few words and whatnot of the Chiefs. This is a big occasion. So next slide, please. So this is by me, retired. Chief Buster Flannery, and I'm going to give you 10 tips for successful retirement, if I will. Can I, Chief? All right, next slide. Now, this is me back in the day. Those who didn't remember me, but that's when I was out and about in the community and doing things to keep the community safe and whatnot. But anyway, I still was a handsome young man. With my retirement check, I was able to get my teeth fixed. But anyway, so go ahead with the next one there. So 10 things, Chief, to do in retirement. All right? This is from me since I've already been out there 8 years. So I'm going to give you the 10 tips. All right, next one there. Okay, all right. Oh, crime briefing. Wait a minute, Chief. I accidentally slipped that one in. You don't have to worry about any more crime briefings right now. So, Mayor, don't even, leave him alone. Leave him alone. All right? So let's go with the next one here. All right, take a cruise, Chief. That's you right there, Chief. Go on, take the family. Take the family to a cruise. That's all you got to do. Get on the boat, going out there and have a few margaritas or whatever. All right, next slide. Okay, adopt a pet. Now, getting one of furry friends has always helped you live longer, your heart rate, and I'm quite sure with your salary you can afford to add a furry friend to the family. A little cat, dog, just go adopt a pet. All right? Next one. All right, plant a garden. That also helps you relieve stress. I get out in the yard, plant my tulips and whatnot, and I always think about, I don't think about MPD anymore, but I think about other things, but that's right, plant a garden. Next one here. Volunteer for a nonprofit there, Chief. I'm quite sure you can find it in your time to reach back and reach the little ones, bring them up like you've been doing, but do it not making money, okay? All right, next one there. Learn an instrument. You always admired me when I played my little harmonica, and I might play a little tune for you. But you learn that releases a lot of stress and tension when you learn the instrument and do the things that I was telling you to do. Next slide, please. Oh, catch up sleep. That's you, Chief Contee. It's important that you catch up on your rest. You don't have the mayor calling you and everybody else calling you. Get some rest. It helps a lot. Trust me, with stress and whatnot. Enjoy yourself and take care of yourself and get some rest. Next slide. All right, write a book, Chief. You can tell other people how to be chief. Have y'all ever heard his Good to Great speech? He put on, you're right about that, Madam Mayor. The reverend side of him, I heard all of it, and so write a book, Chief, and tell other chiefesses how to be chief. Okay? All right. Next one here. Stay healthy, Chief. Make sure you eat all your vitamins and whatnot, and make sure you get all the proper nourishment and exercise and whatnot, and that's important. And go ahead. Thank you, Chief, for all you've done. We appreciate it. We love you. And I'm going to play a little tune. Remember up in Canada, you said play a little tune. He actually came out to hear me play. So I created this little boogie for you, this little retirement boogie. It's all right. Is it okay? And you guys can put your hand together if you want. All right, here we go. Thank you, Chief.
Someone has to follow Sergeant Buster Flannery. Introducing our interim chief of police, Ashawn Benedict.
I knew MPD is a special place, I just had no idea. Mayor Bowser, Chief Contee, Mrs. Contee, family, thank you both for the opportunity to serve as the Executive Assistant Chief of Police and now the Interim Chief here at MPD. You know, speaking of Chief Contee, right, you can't really judge a person until you walk a mile in their shoes, right? And just watching him walk over the last few years has been eye-opening for me. Navigating being the police chief of the nation's capital is unrelenting. The pull away from the family is constant, and having to juggle that. And we talked about this time and time again. The chief and I would just sit in his office and talk about the work, but really talk about the family. And that's why I want to talk about this today. When I joined the department in April of 2021, my wife, who's in attendance over here, Kate, wave your hand. There you go. She sits down and she's like, all right, Memorial Day's coming up. What are we doing? Chief and I are working. All right, well, what about 4th of July weekend? What are we doing? I said, the chief and I are working. She says, Chief work every holiday? I said, yep. And it's for the last 30 years. Right? Well, what about vacation? Can we talk about that? Well, I got to talk to the chief first. Right? Chief's going to talk to his wife and come up with that schedule and let me know what that is, and we'll work that together. All right? He was very clear to me when I joined a couple of years ago. It's like, one of the two of us has to be in this city and be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. That is it. You in? I said, yes, sir. I'm in. There's one exception to that, and that is a couple's vacation that he takes in July with his beloved wife, and he says, I'm not missing this one. You've got to be here in July. And he absolutely, you know, that was a zero fail for him. He's going to take that vacation. That's how much he thought of that time away with you. One thing I think a lot of you know is Chief Contee's a foodie, right? Loves his food, and he loves his chef Louise, right? You get that right? Right? So it's a couple of years now. We go back, and he's like, hey, I ordered dinner for the family. I'm going to go pick that up. He was excited. He was like, I got to get my food on today with the family. So picks up the food, goes to the house. It's dinner time, and the phone rings. And his phone rang and my phone rang probably about the same time. Officer-involved shooting. Both of us just got out of our uniform. We just put on those house pants. We're about to eat. Let's go. And we went to almost every single one of those officer-involved shootings over the last 2-year period. For that day, though, hey, honey, wrap up the food. I'm coming back. We both come home about 10 o'clock, warm up that food, that tray. We're eating again, and we change and go to sleep. And 3 hours later, the phone rings. Man with a gun, officer-involved shooting. Let's go. We talk. We get the uniform back on. We go back out. We check on our officers. We check on the scene. We manage the scene. And now it's like 6 in the morning. Well, we're already in uniform. What are we going to do? We got work to do. But before we go back to work, my son has got to get ready for school. And my wife's got an early morning meeting. So I'm going to go and have breakfast with you guys. I'm going to go to the house. I'm going to make sure Dylan's ready to go. And I'm coming back to the office. We got work to do. But who does that? Chief Contee. Chief Contee does that. He used to tell me all the time, if this job was easy, anyone can do it. It's been remarkable to watch the chief navigate over the last couple of years. It really has. As the mayor mentioned, he got sworn in on January 2nd. We had the insurrection and the riots on Capitol Hill on January 6th. And then we had a dwindling workforce over the last 2 years, right? Things that were out of our control. And to watch him navigate and crime fight and talk about strategies with a dwindling workforce is simply extraordinary. And I want to just kind of frame this in a different way. Baseball, what nation's capital, the Washington Nationals play baseball, 81 home games a year, 162. And what if they didn't take a full team out on the field every day? 9 players. What if they only went with 7? What if the Nationals took the field without their shortstop and their center fielder for every game? what's extraordinary about the way the chief moves and manages this department is MPD kept making all the plays without a full team. Our officers, they're diving to the left, they're diving to the right. They're catching the ball. And you know why they're doing it? Because of the honor and respect that they have for Chief Contee. They didn't do this because they were ordered to do this. They did this because they love the chief. And a word of caution to anyone who's thinking about taking this job permanently and being the chief of police, follow his lead. It's mission first, but people always. People are our greatest asset. And Chief, you've showed us that excellence is transferable. I wish you well as you bring that excellence to your next endeavor at the FBI. We're going to miss you. I'm going to do the best I can to model the behavior that you showed us as running this department. And I'm going to miss you at work. But we're friends. Our sons are friends. Our families are friends. And we're going to see plenty of each other. But one thing I want to leave you with is that, hey, you're leaving us, local government. You're going to the feds, right? Right? You're going to the FBI. Any FBI people in here? They're somewhere in here, probably wearing a dark suit, right? So a lot of these guys, man, they're pretty serious. FBI, they, dark suits, dark ties, white shirt, all of that, right? But you know how Chief is, right? Especially some of you that grew up and helped raise him. He's got some flair and panache, right? So I got something for him on the way out. All right. I went out. Actually, my wife picked these up today. These are some colored socks for, see, some colored socks. That's for your first meeting with Director Ray, boss. All right?
Reverend, I can relate. I've been over here trying to pronounce Mrs. Contee's name. I didn't want to botch it. This is the portion where we're going to invite the Contee family up here. Azure Contee. Asher.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for coming. My name is Azure Contee. Babe, what can I say? It's been one heck of a ride. I met you when you were a cadet at the very beginning of your career at MPD, and here we are now at the end. Honey, you have served the citizens of the District of Columbia well, and I am not only honored, but I consider it a privilege to walk alongside of you. Not only did you serve with passion, integrity, grace, patience, and professionalism, you did it all in the spirit of excellence. I've seen you take the high road in challenging times when others wouldn't. I've often shared with people that what you see in him is what you get, be it in public or behind closed doors. You have demonstrated that excellence is transferable, and I thank you for that. You have led not only this agency by example, but you've also led our family by example. Many have shared how you inspired them, but I want you to know you not only inspired them, you inspired me as well. I'm so very proud of you, and I'm over the moon excited about this next chapter and what God has in store for us and our family. And so I want you to know I love you and congratulations, and thank you all, everyone here, for your support. We appreciate you, and we'll see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screens as we have prepared a career reflection tribute video for Chief. It's May 17th, 2023, and we have the opportunity to sit down with Chief of Police Robert J. Contee III as he's winding down to his final days here as the leader of our agency at the Metropolitan Police Department. So Chief, what was it like growing up in Washington, D.C., and how has it changed since you were a boy in Carver Terrace to now as you're about to exit MPD?
Yeah, Washington, D.C. has made me who I am. I mean, it's a beautiful city, but there's a lot of grit about the city depending on what neighborhood you happen to come from and what your experience is. So, you know, my time growing up here in the city, now being Chief of Police in Washington, D.C. is certainly one I would not trade for anything in the world because, again, I just believe it's really had a lot to do with who I am today.
Who have been those influential figures in your life and in your career?
Yeah, so I mean, there have been several in different spaces. If I was to go back and talk about school, my 6th grade teacher, Robert Burrell, my 3rd grade teacher, Mrs. Blaine, moving on to high school, my high school public speaking teacher, Ms. Bellamy, and all these people I'm still in touch with today. And then moving on to the Metropolitan Police Department, when I got into this space, you know, there were several people within the agency. First and foremost, you know, Chief Ramsey was a huge influencer of me over the course of years. And I mean, there are many, man, I can keep naming for a while. But I think it's fair to say that, you know, with teachers and in addition to that, my professional mentors, Chief Newsham, again, another professional mentor. As I think about all of them, you know, the one person that really kind of stands on top of all that is my mom, a huge influence in my life. She's 4'11", but she's tough as nails, man, and don't get her wrong, because she will let you know about it. So she has been just a very essential piece of my life, who I am, why I do what I do. And I'm just so happy that I've been blessed over the course of the years to be influenced by so many great people.
You've worked at nearly every rank within the agency. Which one do you think had the biggest impact on you? Why?
The biggest impact probably was when I was a sergeant assigned to the training academy. That was a huge influence as far as I'm concerned. Obviously, other ranks afforded me an opportunity to have influence over policy, training, procedures, and that kind of thing. But that rank as sergeant, that really stood out for me.
Are there certain cases that are forever etched in your mind?
Oh, absolutely, man. There are certainly cases that are etched in my mind. You know, January 6th is a thing.
Is that your legacy?
I wouldn't say it's my legacy. I mean, it's part of the legacy. My legacy is the men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department and the phenomenal work that they did on January the 6th, before January 6th, after January the 6th. You know, that's a point in time. That was a day. That was a day's work. You know, we had work the next day. We had other stuff going on. An important day, I should add. You know, one that will be in history books for many, many years to come. And people will talk about it differently. Certainly, I've had to go around the country and talk differently, or talk about that, and people have different views about what actually happened on January 6th. But the one thing that will forever stand out in my mind is how valiant the men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department performed on that day, and how proud I was to be the chief of the Metropolitan Police Department, representing so many men and women who literally, you know, gave their blood, sweat, and tears on that day. And that's just not cliche. I mean, I saw the tears, I saw the blood, right? I saw like our guys in the fight for hours, the men and women who did it on that day, and I will never forget that.
I hear this in a lot of different conversations and spaces, and how you apply to a lot, and I think it means a lot to you. And as I reflect on our time together, the one word that comes to mind is passion.
Yeah, so passion for me, man, it is the fuel, right? It's the hunger that's inside, right? I mean, you know, if you full already, you don't eat. And the passion for me, it's going to separate those people who are hungry, who really want it, versus the people who are just kind of passive and, you know, could kind of care less, right? Kind of just passing time. And I have always wanted to be that guy who's going to be passionate about the thing that I invest myself in, so that when people associate my name with certain things, I want them to associate my name with passion. So I've lived that principle, not just being here on the Metropolitan Police Department, even before I came here in school, right? Like those things have been synonymous. Like, that's a passionate person about whatever it is he's doing.
What is your message to your family?
To my family, Daddy's home. Right. No, to my family, I would say thank you. Thank you to my beautiful wife and my beautiful children for the sacrifices that you have had to make over the years. Daddy has not been chief all by himself. You have been serving with me. You have suffered in times of distress, in times where Daddy was not able to be there, or I'm not able to be there for my wife, but she has been incredible in just holding us down. And I'm so happy to be transitioning at this stage in good health, good state of mind, to another assignment that's going to allow me to spend time with all of you.
What is your message to our command staff?
Well, I would say to the command staff, man, you know, no chief can do any job all by his or herself. And you are as strong as the person on your team who does the least amount, right? And I'm just blessed that everybody on this team, everybody as part of this command staff, are the most incredible people. Just start there, incredible people that I've ever met. They are loyal, they are humble, they work hard, they get the job done, and it's all in the effort to support the chief and to move this agency forward. And that's the thing I'm gonna miss the most, man. I grew up around these folks, man. I mean, every last one of them. I literally grew up around them. I've been blessed to have an incredible command staff, man. I'm really gonna miss them.
It was interesting listening to Peter's question and the mayor's comment that you were the perfect man for this moment when you became chief. Mm-hmm. You think that applies to your next job with the FBI and what we're trying to do nationally with policing?
I think it absolutely does, man. You know, for each of us, you know, we're in different places in our life, assignments in our life for a season. And you have somebody who comes past and, you know, perhaps they just cultivate the ground or they till the ground. Somebody plants the seed. Somebody comes behind and water it, right? And then eventually it grows. And for what I was called upon to do at the Metropolitan Police Department for that time, like, I feel like that's the job that I did. And now, as I prepare to transition to this next space, it's that time, that season for law enforcement agencies all around the world to be able to experience Robert Contee in a different space, right? Understanding that at its foundation is the Metropolitan Police Department. Who is this kid? Where did he come from? Well, he came from Washington, D.C., from the Metropolitan Police Department. I am Chief Robert J. Contee III, and excellence is transferable.
At this time, we have a number of awards and presentations to give. So our outside agency partners and community representatives that have items, please avoid trying to go down the center aisle. We're keeping that clear and to line up over there. So our first award for chief comes from MPD's assistant chiefs. They would like to present him with a small token of appreciation for being a great mentor and leader on behalf of our entire agency. Next, we have Ms. Frances Penn and Commander Altieri from the 5th District and the 5th District CAC. Next is Reverend Motley, Mrs. Patterson, and guests from the East of the River Public Consortium. They have a declaration for the chief. Amtrak Police Chief Samuel Dotson could not be here, but we have Bert Glassman from Amtrak to present a gift to the chief. The U.S. Department of Homeland Security Commander Elliot Grolman would like to present Chief with a certificate of appreciation. United States Park Police Chief Jessica Taylor would like to present Chief with a Crystal Award. The United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Matt Graves, would like to present a plaque on behalf of their agency to the Chief. The Department of Drug Enforcement Agency, Michael Rotherman from the DEA Washington Division Special Agent in Charge, Jared Forjay, is presenting Chief with a plaque. United States Secret Service Uniform and Agent Division is presenting Chief with 2 awards. Here with us today is Matt Stoller and Chief Dyson to present a letter and plaque from the Agent Division and a plaque from the UD Division. And lastly, United States Capitol Police Chief Thomas Main. Oh, we got Prince George's too. Okay. Thomas Manger is presenting the Chief with a flag and certificate. I do apologize. Last but certainly not least, Chief Malik Aziz of the Prince George's County Police Department. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Miss Tyler Contee, the Chief's daughter, and Dylan Contee, his son.
Hi, I'm Tyler. I'm Dylan. We didn't have anything prepared, but we just wanted to come up here and congratulate you. We're very proud of you, and I just wanted to speak to the role model that you are in my life. And I know that Dylan and I both idolize you so much. And throughout the years since I've met you and since you've been in my life, like, I've just seen you be so dedicated and so humble to this job. And excellence is transferable, but also something that you always say to me is handle your business first. So that's something that I'll carry with me as I go on to college, and something that I'll carry with me throughout the rest of my life. and Reverend Contee. I've heard so many of your speeches over the past couple years, and we've had so many conversations that have really stuck with me, and I really just admire how you're able to be so patient with everyone and just keep a calm head all the time. Like, you're always just so focused and so relaxed, even like in very tense situations, and so your calming presence is something that I'll miss when I go to college. But I just wanted to tell you that I really appreciate you, and I really admire what you've done here, and I've watched you not only grow as a person, but help other people grow as well. And so you've been a mentor in my life, and I'm sure in so many other people's lives, and I just wanted you to know that that's something that I really appreciate. So.
When you every day you come home, I always say that, oh, Dad's not going to make it home every day, but sometimes he gets home early, help me with my homework, take me to school, sometimes surprises me by picking me up, and I just want to say thank you and for taking care of me and also helping me with the homework I need to do. And sometimes playing with me, watching movies, taking me to movie theaters, taking me to your office all the time, and also spending some time going up to the beach house makes me really happy. I always want to be with you. Just want to say thanks, Dad.
And we'll miss the helicopter rides and the boat rides. And playing with the puppies. I just wanted to let you know.
Me too.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
I would say last but not least, but folks, please rise, stand up, put your hands together. Man of the hour, Chief of Police of the Metropolitan Police Department, Robert J. Contee III.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It is good to see everyone here, and I just want to extend my heartfelt thanks to everyone that's present here. I'm not going to keep you long, so Reverend Bob is going to keep it short because we're already, I think, 17 minutes over, but that's all right. Y'all know I'm a stickler for time, but it's all good. You know, as I stand here today and approaching retirement and think about how Robert Contee got here, I'm just so humbled and honored that my teachers from elementary school, you talk about the village, man, that helped raise a child. You know, they were more than just teachers. They were the people who paid my way to school trips when my parents couldn't afford it. They were the people who really invested in me early on before I became a chief or anything like that, just a kid from Carvatera. So I want to thank you all for being here. It really means a lot to me to see Miss Blaine and Mr. Burrell and Miss Merriweather and Miss Wilson, my first SRO, Joe Burton. It's good to see you, man, and just everybody else from the Young family who's here. For my family, thank you again. My sister, my niece is here. Thank you all for being here. Obviously, my wife and my children. You guys mean so much to me. You know that. And I'm just so happy that you are able to share in this moment with me today. It has been a journey to get here, one that I don't take lightly. My role and responsibility as the chief of the Metropolitan Police Department is important to me, but the role of father and husband is also very important to me. So I want to thank you for putting up with all that I've had to do to be successful in this job, because I couldn't be successful in this job if it had not been for the support and understanding from you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate you for that. To Madam Mayor, I want to say thank you, Madam Mayor, for taking a chance on me. Back when we sat down in
20, and I think it was starting right after Thanksgiving, I think it was. We sat down and we talked about, what this new thing would be, why I was interested in all of that. But I really appreciate the faith that you had in me to run the police department. For those of you who don't know, I talk to chiefs of police all around the country, and there's some that are in this room. To have a supportive mayor who allows the chief to be the chief is everything. Believe me when I tell you that. And we have a mayor who allows the chief to be the chief. She has not at any moment said, this is what you need, this is what you got to do. She has always approached this asking about what is best for the Metropolitan Police Department. So I have always felt like you have always valued my opinion, and I appreciate that. I have appreciated your friendship. In addition to being my boss, I appreciate the friendship because there were also times where I can tell you about my different chapters of the book, and you would just laugh. So to be able to tell your boss about your book kind of an advanced copy, and she laughed, I mean, that's a good thing. So I appreciate that, Madam Mayor. To the awesome members of the law enforcement community that are here, from whatever agency you're from, I see a lot of people in the audience, and I can't call everybody by name, but I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. I really do appreciate you because your partnership has meant everything to me. There's several of my seasoned citizens that are in here from different wards of the city. I just want to say I love y'all and I appreciate y'all so much. Ms. Jones, anytime you want to make me a pound cake, I'm good, trust me. Ms. Morgan, God love you. I appreciate you, Ms. Morgan, 90 years old, y'all. She made her way here today, so I appreciate you, Ms. Morgan. Thank you so much. And so many other community members that are here. Thank you for all that you have done. To the incredible command staff of the Metropolitan Police Department, you guys have been awesome for allowing me to do the things that I needed to do to be chief. I couldn't do those things without your support. So I just want to thank you for all that you have done to make sure that the Metropolitan Police Department continues to move forward. I have all the faith in the world that you guys will continue to be a great agency, and that whatever chief comes to this department behind me will inherit committed, capable, competent, compassionate people. And I'm so very, very honored to have served with you for all these many years. Thank you for what you have done. The members of the executive team from the mayor's administration that are here, deputy mayor, CA, and all the rest of the folks that are here. I just appreciate you guys. The mayor's job, the chief's job are the very visible jobs in our city. But I know that I could not have done the things that I've needed to do to be supportive of the mayor as she leads this incredible city if it had not been for the support that you guys give daily behind the scenes, in front of the camera, behind the camera, just making sure we're prepared for press events and so forth. That's an incredible amount of work, and there's so many unsung heroes that are behind the cameras that you guys don't see, that are in the wings really making us be the team that we have been. So I appreciate you for all the work that you guys have done to make sure that this is the best mayor in the city, supporting the best chief of police in this country. So thank you all so much for that. I really appreciate that. Some of you know, and I'm wrapping up here, but some of you know, especially those on the command staff, my daughter talked about my speeches and all this other good stuff and things I've said to her. But some of you on the command staff have also heard me pour in to you and pour into people really all throughout our communities. And when I think about, just kind of what the legacy of Robert Contee is, the news media have asked about that. No, it's not January 6th. It's not, whatever other crazy thing that happened. The legacy of Robert Contee is the people of the Metropolitan Police Department and of this city that I've had the honor and privilege of engaging, that I've been able to make deposits in the time that I've been in this uniform, in this city, doing the things that I've been doing. So you are all are part of Robert J. Contee III's legacy. So I want to thank you for that. And I'll leave you with this. It's a poem really that's near and dear to my heart. It's near and dear to my heart because of what it represents, by William Ernest Henley. He was a poet, English poet born in the 1800s, and he suffered tuberculosis at a very young age and had a leg amputated, but he was unconquerable, undefeated in everything that he did. He refused to give up. He was relentless at what he did. And I think that that describes me. Despite my circumstances, despite how I grew up, despite the situation, I'm always going to rise. I'm always going to be undefeated and never conquered. Never. Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody but unbowed. Beyond this place of wrath and tears looms but the horrors of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate, how strong with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. Thank you.
To Chief Robert J. Contee. This is real quick. Our relationship at this, in your chapter of your book, is going to end like it began, kind of strange. They hired me at 105, they fired me at 110, and they brought me back at the end. And so, and also I parked at a meter, and I might get a ticket. You might have one more duty to do. I thank you so very much, but I will not be the last voice. There are two things I want to draw your attention to. The one is that Chief Contee, you had a poem, another poem I believe that you always said. We want to share that poem with everyone here in this audience, and then we're going to have the official who has taken my job to come back and lead us out from that point over. So I'm not the last voice, but I do want to thank you for the opportunity to be here. Again, you have elevated me, my brother. Love you to life, and I'll find a restaurant with tablecloths and chairs, and we'll go out. With that being said, please turn your attention. I believe it's a poem on opportunity, taking advantage of time, something to that. So we're going to play the video, and then we'll be directed from there.
I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, can't refuse it. Didn't seek it, didn't choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give account if I abuse it. Just a tiny little minute, but eternity is in it.
I don't have a poem, but I'm here to say that our formal ceremony has concluded. We hope that everybody can join us out front along Indiana Avenue. When you exit, please exit through the lobby. And Chief, it's been a pleasure, sir. So thank you all for attending. We'll see you outside.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Come on. Oh, okay. Khalid. Khalid.
Oh, somebody. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Come on. Right. Okay. That wasn't me. I thought that was you. Yeah, Lee. Hey.
The Khalid.
Attention all units. Chief J. Contee III, badge number 1, will be doing 10-7 for the final time as the Chief of Police and a member of the Metropolitan Police Department. Chief Contee is a homegrown son of the city who joined MPD in 1989 as a cadet and never been class 89-3 full time. Since this time, he has served in the every rank all the way to the Chief of Police. As our chief, he is the agency to resort the game. He is trained in the leadership at school. He is married in the office of diversity, and inclusion in time himself and well-being. He wants to lead leadership and for the future police leaders of all the world. He served in the family law and partnership to prevent and combat violent crime. He increased the incompetent engagement. He elevated the transparency of all agencies and fostered and improved community relationships. He launched active leadership for the local and training and local efforts. All officers and exhibitors who are integrated in each day. On behalf of the nation and the MPD, he has been honored and encouraged to serve alongside for over 33 years. The district president and editors are similar because of your devotion to your chosen career and the love of all. We wish you all the best in your future. Chief Martin J. Contee III, and the board, given our president. This is your final 10 for the rank. On Wednesday, May 31st, year 2023, and 14:54 hours, you may visualize how that is transferable to all and optional to work each year. You will take your action in future generations and recognize that you will occur. And all you enjoy the back to the second channel and the point you are.
Bill. move over just a little bit, please? Keep that clear. They're going to walk out. Watch your hair, man.
Good, Mom. Good. Coming up.
Thank you so much.
Let's get our picture.
Thank
Proud
you,
of you,
congratulations,
baby.
baby. Good to see you. Thank you, man. Thank you. What's up, baby? Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. Hey, baby. Love you too. Thank you, brother.
Well done.
Take care, T. Thank you, brother. Good to see you, man. Good. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, baby. See y'all later. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, boss. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it, man. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all so much. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you. Good to see you. I'm going to miss you guys, too, man. Keep up the great work.